Check 1 2, check 1 2. We are about to broadcast live for another edition of Money Talks. You can see us, you can hear us. Please drop a 1 in the comments. It's a beautiful day today, eh? Beautiful day today. Cool. All right, welcome everybody to another edition of the Entrepreneur Series, Money Talks. I am your host, Will Garner, and I'm Nick Garner, and we got a very, very special guest. We've got a lot of talk about Forex and additional ways that you can generate revenue amid COVID-19. So recently ran into my brother next to me, Mr. Bobby Tatum, one of the expert trader of Tatum Forex University. So we're gonna give y'all a little bit about what you can do within this Forex community. Cool deal. Before we get kicked off, we first want to pay the bills. We're going to give a shout out to New Century Advisors. That's our company. I am a broker with New Century Advisors, EXP Realty. We are going hard with them. And if you are in the industry of real estate, if you're looking to expand your career, you want to become an agent, you want to join a dynamic team, you can join our EXP New Century team. We also want to give a shout out to the Flip, that's FLPPD. The Flip app is a phenomenal way if you are in the investing arena, how you can go in and analyze deals, and it's a cool way to find off-market deals. The website for that is www.flppd.co. And welcome, Bobby. Man.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I think Nick gave you a really cool intro, but we'd love for you to continue to elaborate some more and tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you got to where you are now.
All right. Yeah. So for sure, I grew up in Fort Worth, Texas. Sports was my life. I worked really hard to be a professional athlete. That was my goal growing up because I wanted to find a way to take my mama out of the hood. And I started to play football because I saw myself having a lot of natural talent in that sport. And I played football, I ran track, and I did powerlifting. And I ended up winning championships in all three. And then I ended up going to the University of Texas, one of the top safeties in the country. At the University of Texas, I played as a true freshman. My freshman year, we won the Rose Bowl against Michigan. My second year, we won the national championship versus USC. And after that, things kind of turned, into a different direction. I got kicked out of the University of Texas. I went to Abilene Christian. I got kicked out of that school as well. And it just made me completely change my mindset. I realized at that point I had a toxic mindset. And I realized I didn't want to be in a position to be cut anymore. I was really frustrated because I felt like I should have been a starter, and it didn't happen. And I really had a lot of anger issues because I was so passionate about, change, and a lot of people couldn't even understand that passion, So when I left, I decided I would never put myself in a position to be cut from a team again. And I decided to be an entrepreneur. And I started to look through the internet to find different ways to make a lot of money because I always knew that I had to make a lot of money. And it wasn't for me personally because the cars or clothes or anything like that, like most people think, but it was for me, for my family. I always saw, myself as somebody that could, uplift my entire family. And I know I had to have a lot of money to do that. And I started looking at different ways to make money through entrepreneurship. And I saw that the average hedge fund manager on Wall Street, does over $500 million a year in profits. So I decided to definitely dive in that industry, and I found out that most of those fund owners traded Forex. So that's why I decided to dedicate the last 6 years of my life trading Forex, and it's been a complete, game changer for my life. Before I started trading Forex, I was struggling financially. I probably never made more than $2,500 or $3,000 a month. And Forex has been able to help me become a multimillionaire. And not only that, I've been able to help multiple students make millions as well. So it's just been a complete blessing, to just really open up my life to God, because I believe that's how I truly found Forex. Because I was at first when I got kicked out of school, I was depressed. I had suicidal thoughts. I was going through it. I didn't have credit. I didn't understand anything about credit. And when I left school, I had to go back home and live with my mom. And that was an eye-opener. That was a real humbling experience. And I really got into my spirituality and my religion. And I really started to read the Bible and apply the principles and concepts in the Bible. And that's when my life really started to change. When I really started to live by certain verses in the Bible. And Habakkuk verse 2 in chapter 2 talks about writing it down and making the vision plain. And that was one of the things that I did, when I came back home and I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't have a car. I was really struggling. I really got into the book and I really started to read, and I started to increase my level of belief and increase my vibration. And that's when these opportunities start to attract themselves to me. I had somebody approach me about Forex, and that's how I got introduced to it. And just opening up myself to God and letting Him direct my life instead of me trying to direct my life. I feel like that's how I was into Forex. That's how I've been able to get into a lot of other business ventures that I've been into, with just being a servant of God and allowing God to guide me instead of me trying to guide myself.
So that's awesome, man. That's
Definitely awesome, man. That's a hell of a story.
I like the fact that you talk about where you were at as an athlete. It's a lot of kids out there who are aspiring to be athletes. Even my kids, they're aspiring to be athletes. They want to be professional athletes. And you have all this training that you go through all these years, and then you hit these roadblocks, and it puts you in a bad frame of mind. Right. And you have to really have a true come to Jesus meeting with yourself and say, hey, you know what? I need to really dive deep into my thoughts and recreate who I am as an individual. And that's huge. And that's what a lot of entrepreneurs even go through in their journey through entrepreneurship, because the first business idea you may come up with, you're gonna hit a roadblock. A lot of entrepreneurs fail. It takes a consistent persistence to get to that next level. So all these things that you went through has really led you up to this point to where you've been able to experience some success.
Right. I'm so grateful, man.
It's huge.
Because, like you said, with that failure, man, I didn't get a chance to tell you guys about all my failures, and if I did, we would probably have a 10-hour podcast, because I failed so many times, I lost count. So that's one of the biggest things, like you mentioned, man, just being able to handle that adversity. That's one thing that football did teach me, is about adversity, and I did have to reinvent myself, and I had to continue to reinvent myself, because it didn't work the first time, the second time, or even the 10th time.
I can definitely relate with you. As a former athlete, I played basketball at Houston Baptist University, and you go through that. That's what the whole season is about. It's going to be ups and downs. You have wins and losses, and so peaks and valleys. That's definitely what it's about, and that also correlates to this Forex market.
Right.
And if you are just tuning in, we're talking to Mr. Bobby Taylor from Taylor Forex University, and we're going into the Forex industry and how it can benefit you and your lives and help you achieve the goals that you're looking for. So if you're to tell someone that has no knowledge about Forex at all, what is the Forex industry? What is it?
So I know most people are more familiar with the stock market. And in the stock market, you're buying and selling shares of companies, right? In the foreign exchange market, you're buying and selling shares of currencies, right? So for example, Walmart as a company, they spend probably billions of dollars per day buying products from China. So for them to buy that product from China, they have to convert the US dollar to the Japanese yen, right? And when they do that, there's going to be a conversion in that money, right? There's going to be I kind of lost my words a little bit, but there's going to be some profit made in that transaction. Mm-hmm. So we're able to take advantage of that just by predicting that before it happens, and then taking advantage of it once we see it going in that particular direction. And the beauty of the foreign exchange market is we're trading one currency pair versus another currency pair. So we can make money when the market is going up, and we can make money when the market is going down. That's the beauty.
Wow.
Gotcha.
That's
Powerful.
It's on the planet stock market positions for 20, 30, 40 years. So that's more so the stock market, more of a long-term game, while the forex is more volatile and this is more of a short-term game. So
wow.
That's
amazing. So I guess what's some of the greatest success that you've been able to experience so far yourself in some of your trades?
Well, yesterday I was able to have one of my best days. I did $434,000 in profit on one trade.
How much?
Wow.
434,000.
Man,
it was definitely one of my better trading days. Not my best, but it was one of my better trading days. And what I really liked about that trade yesterday, it was a real clean trade that I've really talked about a lot with my group. Mm-hmm. So that's why I love being a teacher and a coach. And a lot of people don't understand the value that I get.
Right.
They think like, hey man, why are you teaching other people? But for me,
knowledge is reciprocal.
Right. Going back to the Bible, the parable of talents. In that parable, it talks about multiplying your talents. And in that story, really quick, the master went off. He was getting ready to go on a trip, and he asked for his servants to come in, and it was 3 of them, and he gave them all talents. And he said that he wanted to see what they would do with them when he got back, from his trip. So when he got back from his trip, the first guy, gave him 1 talent, and he buried his talent because he didn't want to lose it. He didn't want to be embarrassed, so he buried his talent. And the second guy, he turned 2 talents to 5 talents, and the third guy turned 5 talents into 10 talents. So he went to the first guy and he took his talents. He called him wicked and slothful. Mm. So evil and lazy because he buried his talent. Right? He went to the second guy and took his 2 talents to 5 talents. He said he was a good and faithful servant. He went to the third guy and he said the same thing. He called him a good and faithful servant. And then what he did to the last guy that turned the 5 talents into 10 talents was he took the talents from the first guy that buried his talents and he gave them to the guy that turned his 5 talents into 10 talents. Right? And just that parable in the Bible, it really just taught me about multiplying my talents. And before, I wouldn't multiply my talents because I wasn't confident in myself, and I would just keep this information to myself, right? Which a lot of people do because they have fear, because they don't want people to, learn this information and pass them up. So a lot of people just keep this information and they say, hey, well, I'll tell people once I learn it, once I get good at it, once I'm a master, once I make this amount of money. And what I did was I started teaching the first day I learned how to trade. When I first started making, dollars, because my first day in trading, I did really, really good, and I never looked back. So I actually started my trading academy probably the first week of trading.
That's what you got back to about confidence. And,
right.
Yeah. And what I see, and this is something my brother and I were talking about early this morning, being an entrepreneur, in order to be successful, it's about your mindset.
Right.
And so, with you, how do you prepare your mindset going into your daily schedule, your daily trades, things like that?
Right. Well, I believe my faith gives me a tremendous amount of confidence in just my knowledge on the human body and how it works. You have to know who you are. I believe in that highly, and I believe we're all children of God. Absolutely. God is omnipresent, and a lot of people don't even know what that means. Omnipresent means God is everywhere. So God is in me, God is in us, God is in everybody.
Absolutely.
So when you know that and you know who you are and where you come from, it gives you an extreme amount of confidence. And just that confidence is going to give you consistency with the work you do. If you don't have confidence, you're not going to go to work when you're tired. You're not going to go to work when you don't feel like it. But because of the confidence I have in God, the confidence I have in me and what I'm doing, I wake up every day at 4:30 a.m. with no alarm clock. I work 16, 17, 18, 19-hour days because I believe in what I'm doing. It's not because I have to, because I don't. I believe in what I'm doing. And it's just something that's naturally in me. Like, I cannot sleep past 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I just believe, when you have your faith, when you know who you are, and you have confidence in what you're doing, it's going to give you that consistency to do that and replicate that every single day. And then those actions becomes habits, and then those habits are going to dictate your results.
Absolutely.
So, that's That's it.
That's awesome. I think, some of the stuff that you talked about as far as, the knowledge that you were gaining and how you were teaching it, that's profound. You said, hey, from the first day, hey, I have something from this. I can share this. I can teach somebody else how to fish. And the cool thing about it, so our flip platform that we have, that's the whole reason we started it. Mm-hmm. I said to myself, I said, man, I'm having a high level of success flipping homes. I'm a home builder. We're building homes from the ground up. If you don't know, you're watching the house that we're sitting in. We built this from the ground up. I bought this lot. We replatted it. We built it from the ground up. And now we're putting together a TV podcast. So I told myself, I said, man, we're having high level success. I can only build so many homes. I can only flip so many. I can only be in so many places at once. So, how can, I want to give back to this industry that has given me so much. And that's where the Flip platform came out. And I think in the whole grand scheme of things too, you'll be surprised at, the ideas and different opportunities that are coming your way when you're unselfish in that way,
Right.
That's really what it boils down to. It's a cool thing. I'm glad you shared that with us.
Right. Just me teaching every day, what it did was it helped me to program my subconscious mind. And the power of the subconscious mind is unbelievable. That's the most incredible gift anybody will ever get while they're on this planet Earth, is the subconscious mind. And most people don't even know what it is. Most people don't even value it because at birth it was given to us for free. And most people associate money with value, right? So your subconscious mind is the most incredible thing you'll get. And as a teacher and me doing these webinars every night, I'm programming all of these rules and this good stuff that I need into my subconscious. Absolutely. So that's why I can apply it in real time, effortlessly, and with 100% confidence because I've done it a million times.
Right.
That's huge. So that's the biggest thing that I see in teaching other people, and that's why I love to teach. As soon as I learn some information, I put together a system, and then I go out and teach it to people. And God has just been continuing to bless me, just like it talks about in the parable of the talents. When you multiply your talents, God is going to give you more. Absolutely. And I feel like I'm overflowing right now is because I wake up every day at 4:30 and I'm doing webinars, I'm coaching, I'm giving, 100% of myself, and that's why I believe, so many amazing things are coming to me.
Absolutely. So that's amazing. So if someone wanted to get started, they're new to this, they're newbie, they like, I love what he's talking about. How would they get started in Forex trading? What would you say is the first thing they need to do?
Honestly, I believe in mentorship. I truly believe in mentorship because I didn't have mentorship when I first started. And I lost so much money. It's not even funny, I made a lot of money, lost a lot of money. And I did that multiple times. And I was so depressed and I wanted to quit and I was so frustrated. And the only thing that allowed me to keep, to love somebody, you have to love yourself first. And when you love yourself, you're going to have a certain amount of confidence. You're going to treat yourself differently. Most of us have so much potential because we have knowledge. All of us have knowledge, but most of us don't know the value of our knowledge because we don't love ourselves. And we give that knowledge away for free, right? We give it away for free. And some people out there have the same knowledge you have, but they love themselves and they understand their value and they charge for that same knowledge.
It's huge. That's huge.
Yep.
Because, you are who the 5 people you hang around. I tell people that all the time.
Right.
I know when I get up every morning, I have to make sure that from the beginning of the day, I've got to be in a positive frame of mind.
Right.
Every single day. I block out negative energies. I won't even watch the news until, end of the day. I'm like, because if I start my day off on the wrong foot, it makes everything just not flow.
Yep.
And it's like you say, you'll be surprised how much attraction will come your way when you have a different vibe in your life, in the way you approach each day. And I believe that it's like every day. I feel like when I go outside, I have no idea what opportunity is going to come my way, but I always believe that something great is going to happen in that day. I just put myself in that frame of mind each day, you know?
I mean, life is about energy all the way around. You know, when you say frequencies and whatnot, I mean, anything that we partake in is going to be measured by those same frequencies. You know, the music we listen to, you know, they make it to make you sad. You know, they make it to make you happy. You know what I'm saying? So it's all tied to, you know, what you consume and, you know what I'm saying, what you intake, like you said.
Right.
So it's a hell of a way to look at it, man. Definitely a hell of a way to look at it.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, so tell people how to get in contact with you.
First and foremost, you can contact me on Instagram.
Because you got the school, right?
Right, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
so-
sir. You can contact me at Mr. Bobby Tatum, and just shoot me a DM, and we'll take care of you. We'll make sure that you get started and going in the right direction. Like I said, I believe in mentorship because I failed a lot tremendously in the beginning, and I really took the hard road. And what I realized, it's a difference between you know, people that win and people that lose. The people that win, they're humble enough to ask for help. You know, and they realize that you don't have to recreate the wheel, you know, and sometimes, you know, a lot of people have a lot of ego, and they want to learn how to do it themselves, and they want to be self-made, and they want to figure it out because they want to feel important, they want to feel smart, and what they end up doing is they set themselves up for failure because they end up failing and then they quit, right? So I believe in mentorship. I believe in finding somebody that already has what you want and just being coachable.
Right.
And
Teachable.
shortcutting your way to success, you know, because you don't have to go through all the blown accounts like I did. You can learn from my mistakes and go straight to success.
And, you know, I'm glad you shared that because I've run into some people who've been transparent. I've also run into some traders who only tell the good side. So tell us about, you know, the downside. You know what I'm saying? What you went through. You know,
Right.
as far as that.
So I think myself personally, I talk about my losses more than my wins. My wins don't get me excited. I'm successful, in my opinion. I don't believe because I'm smart. A lot of people say, hey man, you're super smart because you're doing this. You know, how do you understand this chart? How can you look at those numbers? How can you, like, trading is not about that. That's the illusion that's in front of you. That's what keeps people so confused and thinking about all the stuff that don't matter. All you're thinking about is the value of the price. That's it. Price is the only thing that matters. Is price going up or is price going down? Is price on a discount or is price too high? This is the most basic stuff that's going to help you master the market. When you understand those basic concepts, you can make money consistently. Now you have to have the discipline to keep it. Most people don't keep it. They make the money, then lose the money. Like you heard me say earlier, I've done that so many times. I can't tell you how many times I've blown my account. But the discipline, it took me that long to realize that I needed to stick to a solid strategy and be consistent. And that's when all my trading changed around. And that's when I started to teach, and I started to teach that concept to other people. And then my students have been able to replicate that same success. You know, one of my best students, Ryan Gallimore, he started with me in 2018. And this guy was just ridiculously coachable. Mm-hmm. You know, if I told him to get on the ground and kiss the floor, he would probably do it and not ask me why. You know, he just really believed, and he did everything I asked him to do. And he had probably the best success story I've ever seen in trading, anywhere, period, ever. And he started with $1,000. His first day, he turned that 1,000 into 2,000. His first week, he turned that into 10,000. His first 4 months, he turned 1,000 into $85,000. I've never seen nobody do that. And he never blew one account.
Discipline.
He never blew one account.
There's discipline.
And like he even have a testimonial. If you guys look on my page, also on my link tree, you know, at Mr. Bobby Tatum, he has a video. He actually came to my 3-day masterclass, and he studied with me for 3 days, only 3 days. And a week after he left, he caught a trade on gold, and gold dropped. It tanked, and he made $25,000 in 1 day. In 1 day.
That's huge.
That's crazy. That's insane. That's pretty much something that we're looking to help people who are, you know, investing in the Forex, especially with our Flip platform, use that passive income, leverage it into real estate. You
Right.
know, you're making this money from, the market. Let's create another vehicle.
Yes, sir.
And that's something that we can definitely help you do. And so I mean, it's all going towards building that profile that you're looking for.
Yes,
At the
sir.
end of the day.
It's good to have multiple streams of income. And one thing I really like what you said about is discipline. So even what we do with house flipping and new construction, I have a certain level of discipline that I go through my progressions on each property that or project that I undertake. And you can't skip that. I'm going to know exactly the way I go through my system. I know exactly what I'm going to be at the end of the day, my exit strategy on the deal. I'm going to take a look at what is my debt service per month, what could possibly come up. I assign contingencies in place for things that may come up, and you have to have that discipline on each project that you do, even down to the last dime that you may spend on your utilities on the project. So many different things that you factor in place, and that's what we're doing with our flip platform is teaching students as far as what you need to look at, and then before you get into a project, knowing this is where my money is going to be on each of these projects. So that way, when you get into a deal, at the end of the day, you can know within a few $1,000s what you're going to make on that deal. But the key is the discipline, making sure that you stay, keep the eye on the 8 ball with any project. So to me, from what I hear about Forex trading, and I'm a novice in Forex trading, I'm just getting my feet wet and learning about it. But from what I see, you have to apply that same level of discipline that you apply to yourself with Forex trading. And so that goes to say I would say with any business that you go into, you have different filters and check downs that you would do for whatever business and entrepreneurship you're in. But if you don't have some level of discipline, no matter what business you're in, you're not gonna have the type of success that you want to have.
For sure. I believe Forex really exposes your personality. In football, you can kind of hide a little bit because you got a team. You can blame the quarterback. You can blame the running back. You can blame other people. But in Forex, it's just you and the charts. Like if you didn't put a stop loss and you blew your whole account, you can't blame nobody but you.
Nobody else.
You have to be extremely disciplined or it will kill you in this game. And it really completely changed my life and just brought another level of discipline to me because a lot of people thought I was already disciplined because of what I did in sports, being an All-American, being a champion in bodybuilding. People thought I was disciplined, but I could miss a meal and get away with it. I could miss a cardio session and get away with it. You can't miss nothing in Forex.
Yeah.
So.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
That's huge. Well, definitely, I appreciate you for coming out today. Anything else you want to add, Nick? Or anything else
this
you
has
want
been
to everybody else with?
good wealth of knowledge. Definitely appreciate you stopping by. Couldn't ask for anything else. I mean, we definitely want to educate the community. On the opportunity you have with Forex, other than just your own income that you have coming in right now. Definitely look at the opportunity with what Mr. Tatum has here to offer. Also, if you're looking to invest in real estate, we would love to help you in that regard too. So join those two together. I mean, you can definitely take your life to another level. So that's what we're all about here. We're talking about what needs to be said, and other than that, I think everything's good.
Yeah. So one thing I kind of want to leave with is just, I believe you have to know who you are. You have to know who you are. You have to know that God is in control. God is omnipresent. God is in you. So allow that confidence to build. But to build that confidence, you have to be consistent. Consistency and confidence are tied together. They're not separate. They have to be tied together. And when you do that consistently and you believe in yourself and you put yourself in the right situation and you believe that God allowed you to find this situation, you're going to put yourself in a lot of successful situations and you're going to be able to elevate your life and accomplish the things you want to accomplish. A lot of people right now, especially with COVID-19 and a lot of people are afraid of Trump and all the different things that are going on, one thing that I want you guys to realize is God is inside of you. Right?
True.
And just like Peter got out the boat and started walking on water, you can too. But you have to believe. You can't let the waves start crashing down and get you distracted. You have to keep your faith on God, and you have to walk like it's already happening. That's why gratitude is one of the highest levels of vibration you can have. When you have that gratitude and you thank God every day, those opportunities are going to manifest in your life. Because there is no shortage of money on the planet right now. In China, they're making 2 billionaires a week.
Wow.
Last year in the United States, over 2,000 people per day became millionaires for the first time in the United States. That's over 200,000 new millionaires just last year alone. So there's so much opportunity. There's real estate, there's Forex, there's billions of ways to make money. I know some people that made money by investing in Bitcoin. They put $700 in Bitcoin in 2015 and now it's worth millions. Right? I saw people start construction companies, landscape companies with one lawnmower, and now it's worth millions of dollars. So there's no lack of opportunity. It's how do you see life? What are you programming into your subconscious that's going to determine how you see life? If you see life as being half empty or half full. Because everybody's looking at the same glass.
That's right. It's true.
So, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to leave it.
That's awesome.
I can talk forever.
I love it. Good job. Good job. Julius on everybody. I know that everybody at home appreciates that. We definitely do. Once again, tell everybody how to get in contact with you, and then we're going to pay the bills one more time.
All right. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram at Mr. Bobby Taylor. That's where I'm at most of the time. Get connected with me. I have free education as well. I hope to see you guys, pretty soon.
All right. And remember, follow us at New Century. If you're in the Houston area, looking for real estate, we can help you with that. NewCenturyAdvisors.com. It's NEWCENTURI advisors.com. We'd love to help you. Go on to our investment platform, FLPPD.co. Get a chance to go in there, play around, look for some off-market deals. Use our evaluation calculator. It'll show you exactly how to evaluate your next fix and flip you may do. And if you like this home, by the way, that you see us in that we built, visit us online at Hideaways HTX. This is one of our Airbnb properties. We'll go into that in one of our future episodes. That's Hideaways HTX on Instagram. And hey, like I love to say, you're one flip away.
See you in the next one.